Today, we're going to be touring a 2022 Azimut Magellano 25m. Now, Azimut yachts are very popular. They're an Italian builder, but surprisingly, I've never actually toured one on the channel. This yacht is presented by the FGI Yacht Group, so thank you to them for granting me access on board. We have 4 staterooms on the inside. This yacht can house up to 4 crew members, and this yacht was also built to a US specification, although it does have global power compatibility, so no matter where you are in the world, you're gonna be set up just fine. As the name would imply, it's 25 meters, or about 82 feet in length. You have a beam of 6.35 meters, or 20 feet and 10 inches, and you have a draft of 1.9 meters, or 6 feet and 3 inches. I think these Azimuts look really good in the water. So let's make our way on board and tour this beautiful Italian super yacht. So right away, you'll see that there's a side boarding gate, and we can make our way up this staircase. Although we're gonna go to the back of the yacht first. As you can see, we have our swim platform, and then also there's a secondary platform that's even larger. This entire transom wall, the first platform will go down, this will flip out, and then you have an even larger bathing platform. And then we have a staircase on either side leading up to the aft deck. So we're gonna slip our shoes off and make our way on board. And the tonnage of this yacht, it's 85 gross tons. And I think I said it before, but this was delivered in 2022. So we'll make our way on board via the passerelle. And this will bring us up onto the aft deck. So here we can see a very large teak table with the seating on either side. And also, I really like this feature. Back here, you can see the teak that's lining the larger swim platform, but then when this is folded down, you have the teak railing and then the glass as well. So you get a great view off the back of this yacht. And then also, we have a ton of storage built in all these different areas, which is very important on a yacht of this size. We'll have storage underneath here. Actually, that's the fire hose. But we'll have more in places like this. And I've also noticed a lot of these storage areas, they have drains. So if you wanted to fill them up with ice, make this an ice chest or a cooler, you could easily do so. I imagine you could throw some fantastic parties on this yacht. There's your ice maker, and then more storage compartments in places like this, as well as a sink. And then one more that'll open up before we head inside. We have this on either side. You have additional space for storage for your lines. So everything can be tucked away in a very neat configuration. And you also probably already saw, but we have a massive glass door, so you can really open up the space with the glass all the way across. And also, I really like the teak elements that you find all throughout the yacht. The Italians, they're known for their stylish builds, and this one is no exception. Let's make our way inside. So we have this beautiful setup in the main salon with very large windows for lots of natural light. And from a design perspective, we have a very light mix of colors. So you can see the sofa over here. The TV will pop up in this direction. And then if we continue forward, we will find the formal dining room. And as you can see, we can comfortably seat 8 at this table, which makes sense since we have the 4 cabins, although I believe one of the cabins downstairs has a Pullman berth, so technically you can sleep up to 9 guests if you need to. And all 4 of the cabins, including the owner's suite, is located downstairs. But before we head down to the guest cabins, let's check out the galley. We will find that in this forward direction on the port side. And actually, before we get there, let's take a quick peek at the bridge. We have a very small raised pilot house. As you can see, we have the steps up and also the door that leads to the flybridge. And then you'll find the captain's chair, in addition to all of their controls. It looks like we have Ray Marine multifunction displays. And we're positioned very far forward on this yacht, so we have fantastic visibility from the helm. And it's also a very open and airy feeling over here. Because this is cut out all the way to the ceiling, you get that atrium effect downstairs. Behind this door, this is where we find the day head. And then also through this door, this is where we find the galley. And you can see we have the mirror. And on a yacht of this size, I think this makes a lot of sense. The galley also acts as a crew mess area. So we can find the sink over here, your Miele appliances, your full-size fridge and freezer with the additional refrigeration, and then of course your pantry space. And earlier when we first walked in the room, you saw it. This is what I was referring to for the crew mess, as well as a side access door so they can easily get around the yacht. And there are 4 crew members on board, and their cabins are actually located forward. So everything is condensed to this area, which makes a lot of sense. And if we step forward, we'll see 4 different doors. You can see where the laundry is set up. And then here is one of the cabins. And then the head is right over here. And the toilet is also the shower, so it's a combo wet room. But it's still finished very nicely in here. That's always a good sign. So we saw the one, but the other crew cabin is right here. So we have 1 and 2, and then the ensuite. Then we'll pass back through the crew mess and the galley. I'll give you one more shot of that. I really like the large windows we have in this area. So it's a very comfortable area with lots of natural light. And it's a pretty good sized galley for an 82-foot boat. Thank you so much. So through that door, of course, will lead us back out to the dining room and the main salon. And I'm gonna quickly do my YouTube plugs. There's a couple things I need to ask of you. 1, please like the video if you're enjoying the content. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, either during when you're watching or when you're done watching. Leave a comment down in the comment section, because I'd love to get your thoughts and opinions. I promise that's the only YouTube plug I'll do throughout the video. But those 3 things help me out greatly for the YouTube algorithm, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you. Back to the yacht tour. This is considered the VIP cabin. We have a large bed, and then you can see the TV that's mounted. And then behind this door, here we can find the ensuite. And of course, you wouldn't expect anything less. We have a beautiful rainfall shower. And there's also a large bench in here. I also really like the soft touch materials along the wall. On this wall, you get a better view of it. It's textured very nicely. You have that nice light finish. but we still have a little bit of contrast with this medium grain wood over in these columns. Now we will continue heading aft. And here's cabin number 3. And I imagine these beds could be pushed together to form a larger one. And you have those same beautiful finishes all throughout. And then, of course, everyone wants to see it. We do have the ensuite tucked right over here. Now across the hall, this is the 4th cabin. And earlier I mentioned there is a single Pullman bed, and that's located right here. So if you wanted to make this the kids' room and you have bunk beds, you could do so. And if you don't need the extra room, you can just tuck this bed up. And every cabin has its own ensuite with those same finishes all throughout. So no one's going to be feeling left out on this one. But if you're the owner, let's focus on you for a moment, because through this door in the midship, this is where we find the full beam owner suite. So we'll see the large bed in the middle of the room. We have a sofa on this side. We have the large TV up on the wall. And then I think this is our closet behind this mirrored finish. I like this small table setup. You could use this as your dressing table. And then off to the side, this is where we have the ensuite with a double vanity right in front of the window. And then over here, you'll find the toilet, as well as the shower just behind the door. And just like the other rooms, it's finished very nicely in here. We have the high contrast finishes. And all of these doors do have a magnetic catch, so it's never going to slam into the glass door. And let's see what's behind this mirror door. It looks like another closet space. And also, if you wanted some privacy, or if you just wanted to tuck this away, there is a sliding pocket door, so you can slide this across, and then you'll no longer see the ensuite. So once again, you can customize this space to your liking. And I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on the interior design. But let's continue on. All right, now we're going to head upstairs to everyone's favorite, the flybridge. Well, actually, I'm curious, what is your favorite place on a yacht? For many people, it's the sun deck or the flybridge, but maybe I shouldn't assume. So back here, you'll see a very large L-shaped seating area, and this is large enough to also act as a sun pad. We also have the built-in bar. I really like the teak bar top. And then let's see what's behind the bar. I imagine, looks like we have the grill. And then I also imagine we have an ice maker and refrigerator tucked underneath. As well as your sink. And all of that sits just behind this hardtop, where we have more storage over here, and then a lovely alfresco dining space where we have the U-shaped seating wrapping around 3 sides of this table. In the ceiling, this middle section is a hardtop, but it still can twist open, which is a pretty cool feature. So if you wanted some additional natural light or just have it more open, you can set it up that way. And then unfortunately, it's currently covered, but you do have the second set of controls up here on the flybridge, and I imagine on a beautiful day like today, this would be the preferred place to control the yacht from. I must say, I'm really liking what I've seen thus far. This is pretty impressive for an 82-foot package. And Azimut is one of the bigger production yacht builders in Italy, so it's pretty easy to see why, in my opinion, why they're so successful with cranking out a lot of these models. But now, let's head up to the foredeck. And then we'll head up this side deck. The railing increases in height, so you feel very safe walking up to the front. And if you've been on this channel for a while, you know I always harp on making sure that yachts make the full use of the foredeck space, and this yacht does a great job of that. It's not the biggest area in the world, but we still have matching L-shaped seating sections on either side, as well as the shade that can be put up overhead. So working with the amount of real estate they had here, for me, this passes the test. Once again, a lot of storage every single place you look. And then all the way forward is the business end, where you can see your winches, your bollards, and then of course, the anchor chain. And let's step all the way to the front and turn around, although I think the shade is gonna be right in the way. Actually, I think that works. So you can see these large windows are those overhead windows that bring light down into the galley. We will head back on the opposite side. This is the side access door that leads you into the crew mess and the galley space. And now let's figure out what the easiest way is into the engine room. So we'll give you another look at this aft deck area. And then, like I said, I think right here is the easiest way in. So that was pretty easy to open. And then there's a small ladder that we have to climb down, but it's literally only 3 steps. And then now we're down in. So there's a small storage and engineering space right here, but really it's just a gateway into the engine room. You can see the Kohler generator right away. And also, earlier I thought it was just a swim platform, but based on this cutout, I actually think we have a tender garage behind that platform. So apologies if I misspoke earlier. It looks like we can fit a small tender in here. And then let's talk about these engines. This yacht comes with a pair of MAN V12 engines. Your top speed is 24 knots. You can cruise at 17, and this has a reported 350 nautical mile range at that cruising speed. But if you drop it down to displacement speeds, you get 1,500 nautical miles. So let's close this up behind us, guys. All right, we'll give you one more look at the main salon. Then also, we will give you one more last look at the owner's suite. Thank you, of course, for watching, and thank you to the FGI Yacht Group for granting us access on board. I will link this listing down in the description. Please share your thoughts down in the comments, like the video if you enjoyed it, and we will catch you next time.